and welcome to GagaKnits. My name's Anita and I live in South Wales in the UK. And this is where I share my knitting, crochet, sewing and any other crafty things I get up to, and sometimes I show videos or photos of places I have been when I'm out and about. This is my May episode. I always try and record and upload on the last Tuesday of every month, but I'm recording this a little bit early because the last week of the month is half term here in South Wales and I will be having my grandsons, so I'm going to record this portion now, and I'm hoping to insert some footage of the things I talk about throughout the week, and then I will upload this on the last Tuesday, so it will be the same for you. You won't really know any different. So let's get on. I hope you've had a nice month since we chatted last. I have been busy crafting as usual. I have a finished object in knitting to share with you, and it's my Miette cardigan from Andi Satterlund, and here it is. I'm just waiting to find some buttons to go on it, some perfect buttons. I'm really happy with it. I will, like I say, be hoping to put a video in of me wearing it with the self-drafted skirt that I made last month. So this is the Miette cardigan, and the yarn I used was the pink mystery yarn that my sister-in-law sent me from, well, she's living in America, but the yarn was from China. And I made the size 38, and I used 5.5 and 6mm needles. And the construction, it's a cropped cardigan, cropped sleeve. That's right, a cropped cardigan. It's got 3/4 sleeves, and you knit it top down, split for the sleeves, and then join the sleeves back on and knit down the rest of it. It's really, I couldn't put it down. I really enjoyed making this. A little sort of eyelet detail around the neck and down the front. You can see that, and then also at the bottom. And it's perfect length for me, and I'm only 5'1½", and it fits nicely over the skirt and for any little fit and flare dresses that I'm going to make. So I'm very happy with that finish, and it's lovely and it's soft. And then as soon as I finished that cardigan, I cast on my penny sweater, which is a pattern from TinCanKnits. And it's a bit unusual in that you knit the sleeves first. So you knit the sleeves in the round, and then you knit the body in the round from the bottom up, join in the sleeves, and then work the yoke, knitting backwards and forwards, not in the round. So I haven't got very far. I've just started the sleeve, and it's mainly purl stitch. So if you don't like knitting purl, I suppose you could turn it inside out and knit all the rows, but then you have just a little panel of pattern, which is quite enjoyable. It's going a little bit slowly because obviously the sleeve, and you increase as you go. And I have put it down to do other things. And the yarn was the DK yarn I bought at Wonderwool from Sheep on Mars, but I don't know what it is, so it's another mystery yarn, but it's DK. And the needles I'm using are 3.5 and 4mm, and I'm making the size 40. And for the Miette, I made the size 38. I don't know if I said that. So I will be getting back to that, but I have been working on other things. So I've started a silly little project, really. So for those of us in the UK and probably elsewhere in the world, we are celebrating the Queen's Platinum Jubilee at the end of this month. And Martin and I and some friends are going to a music festival. It was booked 2 years ago, but it kept getting cancelled because of COVID. And it just so happens that now it falls on the Jubilee weekend, so we're going for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we bought a new tent to go camping, and my friend and I have been getting a bit carried away. It's not a Jubilee festival, it's a music festival, but we are going to go all out Jubilee, so we've decided we are only going to wear red, white and blue clothes, and we have got bunting, and we're making, that's what we bought, Union Jack cups and plates and all that sort of thing. And I am knitting a little tea cosy to go on our table, because on the Friday we're going to have a little afternoon Jubilee tea. So I'm hacking a pattern really. So the pattern comes in this book, More Bizarre Items by Patons, really old book, 65p this was. And I am doing a version of the Dutch doll. So I'm making this part, and the actual pattern here asks for blue and white. So you are knitting it flat, 2 pieces, and then you're going to sew them together. And I'm using 4mm just straight old-fashioned needles. So I've got that far, and I'm just going to start the decreasing of the first one. And then I'm going to make another one, and then I'm going to make a pom-pom to go on the top, which will be red, white and blue. And I'm also going to change the pattern a little bit. If you can see this pattern on the other page, don't know if you can see, but there's sort of knitted little pieces coming up like that. So I'm going to knit red ones of those to go on my pattern, so it looks a little bit like a Union Jack. That's the plan. So I've got to get that done by next week. So it won't take long. I mean, I did that much in an evening, and I really like this pattern. It's not colour work. You only ever use one strand of yarn at a time, but on these white rows you slip, so you knit 2 and then you slip 1, knit 2, slip 1, and then do the same on the purl row, and then just knit 2 blue rows. So then that brings you this sort of chain, and it makes it look like you're doing colour work, but actually you're not. You're only using one colour yarn, so that's going very quickly. And if I get a chance I might make 2. And I'm going to make some pom-poms as well, and we're going to intersperse them with our bunting. We're getting quite into it. It's just a bit of fun. It's so nice to be able to look forward to doing things again, isn't it? So that's my knitting. And then my lovely sister-in-law Janine has sent me another box of wool from America. And I'm going to show this first, because then my next project I am actually using another mystery yarn. It's a bit of a theme this month, because I didn't have a ball band, and she sent me quite a lot of these sort of colour wheels, but they're all different makes, and the project I'm making is from a colour wheel, but it didn't have the band, so I'm not sure what it is. Beautiful colours, but I'll show you in a minute. So she sent me a burnout pop. This is really quite thick, medium. It's a medium weight, but I don't know if that's an Aran or a bulky ink. And then the Lion brand Mandala Sparkle, another pretty one. There's loads in here. A Karen Cakes, bit of a theme. Janine used to like crocheting a lot, but she can't do it now because her hands or wrists are bad. So these are all for crochet, her crochet projects. Then I've got quite a few of these cream cakes, quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So I can make a nice big baby blanket. Lots of new babies, friends and family are having babies everywhere, so plenty of opportunity to use those up. Another smaller cake, handmade modern worsted yarn. And then I've got 3 of these. Again, ideal for baby blankets, and a lot of these patterns come with, a lot of these yarns come with patterns on the back. So there's a little baby blanket pattern. This is Bernat baby coordinates. Must be a DK because you use a 4mm hook. And similar yarn in blue. I won't take her back. She has sent me some more of this. I think it's in the attic, so I'll add that to that stash. Lots of baby boys being born, so that's great too. And there's more. I've got 4 rolls of this is Rose Colour Wool Rainbow series, and it's Chinese writing again, so I expect it's when my brother went to China working. And I'm going to give this to my friend who loves purple, and she can think of something to make for that. And then there's 3 balls of baby cotton gazelle. There, very pretty. A ball of Patons classic wool worsted, just in green. And a style craft, DK, 100 grams. And I've bought this, I've got quite a lot of this from a previous box that she sent me. And last but not least, this lovely colour is lovely and soft, very, very chunky. So I don't know what I'll make. I might make some pom-poms with that actually. That would be a nice pom-pom garland, wouldn't it? And then that's all the yarn. And then she sent me some of these stitch markers as well in a nice little snazzy case. So thank you, Janine. It's really kind of you. Right, I better put all that away, and then I can show you the project that I'm making using one of these yarns. So, as I said, lots of people are having babies at the moment and they all want something made. So I have an ex-colleague who's expecting a little boy, and I had a colleague who was expecting a little boy. I'd given her the blanket I showed you last time with the crocheted squares of blue, mid-blue, grey and white. But this friend, I've decided to do a more colourful blanket and a little bit simpler so I don't have to sew all the squares together. And I've got this book here, a little course in crochet, and there's a baby blanket pattern, and I mean it's really nice with the different colours and swapping with the white. But as I have lots of those cakes of yarn, the ones that just change colour anyway from Janine, I decided to make a blanket out of one of these. Again, a mystery because I don't know, I didn't have the ball band, and I'm halfway through. I'm using a 5mm hook because I bought a new 5mm hook, an ergonomic one, and I wanted to use it, so that's the only reason I'm using a 5. It doesn't really matter about gauge or anything. And I've got this far. So I just used the pattern as a guide just to start doing the beginning, like a granny square, and then I'm just going round and round, or corner to corner, until I run out of yarn. So it doesn't really show up, but it's really lovely and bright. I mean, what baby isn't going to love that? It's lovely and soft. I don't know what it is, and the colours are really nice because you can see where they fade in and out. It's really nice. Lovely. So that's a nice easy one to do in the evenings because you don't have to think at all. There's 3 trebles and you just work your way along into the corners. Fabaroonie. Oh, all tied up now. So that's the crochet. And then we'll go on to sewing. So I've got lots of notes. So this is where I'm hoping to put some videos in so I can look at my notes and talk to you, because hopefully I'm going to overlay this with some videos. So if let me jump then. I'm in the patio, I'm in the conservatory because I have donated my little craft room to Martin because he is a college lecturer. He needs somewhere to do his marking and lesson prep. And I felt, as that's his job, that's more important than me having a craft room for my hobby. So the desk, my nice new chair, just donated to him for him to have no excuse not to do his marking and things. And I am back down to sewing on the dining room table, which I actually don't mind because I can spread things out. I've got more room to like pin my garment pieces together and then sew, so I don't mind. It's just half my stuff is upstairs, half down. I'm running up and down. But instead of recording these videos now in my craft room, I thought I'd try and do them in the conservatory. And the birds, they get bits and pieces from the trees or from on the roof, and sometimes they fly over and drop them, and that's what you heard, fell on the roof. That makes me jump. But anyway, back to sewing. So last month I showed you the McCall's 7969 dress pattern, which is you can get, I think you can still get it now free on Minerva just by signing up to their newsletter. And it's an oversized wrap dress, or it gives the impression of a wrap, it's not real wrap. And a lot of the dresses now in the shops and things are this oversized look, but I don't think it really suits me, that style, because I'm only 5'1.5" and I'm not the most slender of people, and I just feel like a sack of potatoes in it. So anyway, I made it to the size that I thought, which I think was a size 12. So I made a large, so I don't know what that was. So I made the large and I put the pictures in. I'll put them in again. Not nice, huge. So then I took it all apart and I kept the sleeves as they were, and I tried to make the bodice, just took the bodice in and then just gathered the skirt more. And now it's a bit, well, I don't know if I've stretched the neckline out. Probably I have. I did shorten that, and it comes quite low, as you'll see in this video. So it comes quite low, so you're going to have to wear something underneath. And I put the sleeve back on, but I don't really like it, but I'm not going to do anything with it again. Will I wear it? I don't know. Fabric's nice, very light and flowy. It was a viscose challis that I got from Minerva. But I redid it anyway, and even if I just wear it in the garden and around the house, I will try and wear it. I think I like the process of making things more than the actual things that I finish and wear. That's why I think I like making for other people, because once I've finished making them, I give them away, they're happy with them, and I can move on to the next thing. But I am going to try and start wearing the things I make. In saying that, my next make another dress is the Patricia Rose dress by Stylark, and I made the size 12, and I used a Zara viscose twill that I bought from Minerva a couple of years ago. It's absolutely beautiful fabric, really drapey. I did make a couple of toiles because I am trying to get the fit right. I made the toiles in curtain lining fabric that my stepmom gave me for that purpose, and that was quite firm. It's quite drapey, but it's a firmer fabric, which the toiles look nice in that, because the Patricia Rose has got a folded, under the bodice there's a fold, and then it's meant to be an inverted pleat, and that stood out really nicely on the toile in this lining fabric. The viscose twill that I used is really drapey, and you lost the impact from that, so it wasn't the right fabric to use. Plus the Stylark patterns are very the pattern directions are very basic. That's not a problem in itself, if you've sewn before, so I'm okay. I understood that, they're clear enough, that's fine. And the pattern pieces themselves are nice, they're on good quality paper. But where I went wrong, firstly went wrong, is the actual, on the pattern, instead of giving you a size guide for all the sizes, it gives you a size guide for a size 10, and then it tells you to go, if you need to go up a size, add 2 inches each size, and if you want to go down sizes, -2 inches each size. Simple enough, I thought, except I didn't realise that they were giving you the finished garment sizes for the size 10 and not your actual sizes. So I sized down to my size, cut out some very nice fabric, and then realised that's way too small, and then reread the pattern and realised my error. I don't really like it being the finished pattern size because, or the finished garment size, because I don't know how big I want it. Anyway, I then did a size 12, and also in the pattern the back of the dress is all one piece, and I liked the bodice and then the fold, so I tried to pattern hack and put the back the same as the front. And then I decided, as I realised that the fabric was so drapey, I wouldn't do the inverted pleat. I would just do a gathered skirt, which I looked and I saw on Instagram that someone else had made that, and I thought it looked quite nice. But when I sewed it, because it's so drapey, like I say, it just looks like another sack of potatoes on me, and I didn't get the measurements right from hacking it. So that is another dress that I am going to be taking apart and redoing in a different style. It wasn't the pattern's fault, it's mine. I may well do the pattern again, but in a firmer fabric. And also the sleeve, the shoulders didn't fit, so I'm going to have to adjust that. I have found on YouTube some really nice sewing tutorials from a lady called Nancy Zeman. I will link her below. She sadly passed away from cancer, I think 4 or 5 years ago, and these videos are very old, from like the late 80s on, but she gives some really good tips and things. Like I've been sewing quite a while now, so I've been doing things, but sometimes I don't know, are you supposed to put when you're sewing things together, which side up are you supposed to sew, or some of the little tweaks that if you went to maybe classes you could get these little tips and tricks if you had other fellow sewers that you sewed with. So she sort of gives you those, and I'm finding that very useful, so I'm hoping she'll help me a lot. So I'm going to turn that dress into just a basic bodice and skirt, and I'll be happy with that then, so I'll show you that when I've done it. Last time when I made the M7969, a couple of you said, oh, you must have such patience to take it apart and do it again, but it's better than not wearing it, isn't it? And I also bought, last summer I bought a dress, just a ready to wear dress, and that was the same, these big floofy, they're just too wide and I didn't like it. It's a denim dress, so what I decided to do with that, and it didn't have pockets, I took it apart yesterday. I put darts in the back and I put pockets in it and then regathered it, and then it's still quite big, but it's much better, and I think I'll wear it more now, so I'm quite pleased with myself. I'll put a picture in to show you that one, and I will start tweaking with my clothes and being a bit braver, because if I don't try, I'll never learn. Please let me know if you're doing anything for the Jubilee. Are you having a street party, or have you decided to dress in red, white and blue? We did try looking in, I mean, I don't know if it's just in Wales, but we were looking in some of the shops, my friend and I, to try and get some themed things, and a lot of the shops don't seem to be stocking much at all for the Jubilee, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know if it's different in England, or maybe different parts of Wales, but the little part that I live in are not getting on board with the Jubilee celebrations. So I hope you have a nice month, and I shall see you again at the end of June. I've got quite a lot planned in June, so that's exciting. Obviously we're going to this festival that will take us across into June. My cousin then is coming over from Canada for a visit, and I'm going to take her up to see my dad, who is, well, I shall have a nice surprise to show you next month. He's not making me something. He is, what would you call it? He's just working on something to get it working, and it's very special to me, and I will show you and you will think it's very special too. So can't wait to get that. And past that, I don't know what we're doing. There must be something else. It seems to be quite a lot of things in June. But anyway, I shall let you know at the end of June. Have a nice month. See you next month. Bye.